So as always, thank you for following us here at the Melbourne Strength Culture YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about a breathing drill that we have adapted here at Melbourne Strength Culture that seems to have a lot of influence and help a lot of our sumo deadlifters, particularly those who are feeling a lot of hip tightness and tension as training blocks or training cycles start to progress with sumo deadlifting, and both volume and intensity are increasing over time. Charlie, as a sumo puller, has definitely felt a benefit from this drill, along with a lot of our lifters here at the Melbourne Strength Culture Gym, as well as some people that we've helped online. So today we're going to take you through the breathing drill, which is just an adaptation of the standard 90-90 hip lift that we've already talked about a lot on the channel here. If you haven't gone and watched the 90-90 hip lift tutorial that we've done a few months ago, I'd recommend going back and looking at that. I'll put the link in the description box. Here is the thumbnail for it. So we're actually just going to take you through the 90-90 hip lift with internal rotation bias, or how we call it here, 90-90 hip lift with IR bias. So the setup is going to be pretty much exactly the same as the standard 90-90 hip lift as taught by most PRI people, which is setting up with your heels on a box or on the wall. We're sitting in a 90-degree angle of our heels, shin bone, so our tibia, down our femur into the floor. So we've set this 90-degree box. From here also we have a foam roller that is sitting between Charlie's adductors. We're looking to squeeze that roller so that if someone tried to steal it, they couldn't take it away from him. From this position, we're going to move the feet out into internal rotation. So we're going to just separate the feet a little bit and drive that femur, so that the femoral head inside the acetabulum, into some internal rotation. So this is where we're biasing the internal rotation. A lot of sumo deadlifters, they get caught in a very extended and externally rotated position, obviously because of the actual sumo position. They're in extension as they're driving up through a lot of volume in their training, driving through extension of the hips, the lower back, and a lot of external rotation occurring at the femur as well. So what we're actually doing here with this drill is we're starting to just recorrect and realign the hips into a little bit more neutrality by driving some internal rotation with this drill here. So once we're set up in this position, Charlie's then just going to move through the standard 90-90 hip lift, which is rolling the tailbone off the floor, finding the hamstrings by pulling the heels down into the bench and trying to squeeze his butt a little bit. From here, we're just going to move through standard breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, which will be in through the nose and out through the mouth. Once you exhale, we're looking to get the ribs down, get a good core co-contraction of all the core musculature, make sure the obliques turn on, and control that rib cage position. We're looking for probably 5 breaths, 3 to 5 sets of this in between your warm-up sets. Every breath you should be aiming to get as a bigger breath in success. So every breath, successively gets bigger. As we can see here, Charlie's really starting to get these breaths bigger. More air comes in as that diaphragm starts to pump, and more air comes out as a result of that. We'll do one more breath. And in. And exhale. Nice. So that's the 90-90 hip lift with internal rotation bias. For us here, we recommend doing 3 to 5 sets of this for 5 breaths before your actual lift. Also in between your warm-up sets if you're somebody who carries a little bit of tightness through your warm-up sets. We could also recommend using this at the end of a session if you find yourself feeling quite locked up and tight through the anterior hip capsule of the hip itself. We've also had a lot of success with this with people who struggle with FAI symptoms, probably non-structural FAI symptoms, meaning that they just get some tightness through squatting and deep hip flexion exercises in the gym. This drill also helps us to bias a little bit of internal rotation in the hip itself to hopefully carry into the actual training session. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. You can follow us through the links in the description box. As always, happy lifting and welcome to the culture.